Welcome back. I'm Calvin, Statue Fanatic, and today I want to bring to you a new segment that I'm adding to my channel. And this segment is going to be called Collecting on a Budget. And the reason why I decided to do this is because I've read a lot of comments that people have posted on Facebook, on forums, on statue collecting sites, on YouTube videos. And one of the main things that always comes up is how expensive the statues are and how big they are for sure, but more so how expensive they are. But we all remember Boeing, and we all love those figures that came out of that studio. They were amazing. Some of them are extremely still desirable today. Some of them actually fetch a huge premium today. But when Boeing exited, there wasn't anything to fill that void. Thankfully, Diamond Direct, Gentle Giant, other companies are stepping up and producing figures to fill that void. And so I'd like to be able to bring to you guys some of the figures that I've come across, some of the ones that I love, and be able to share some of that with you guys and show you that you can absolutely collect on a budget and not break the bank. And I'm not going to limit it just to statues, because NECA is doing an amazing job with some of the quarter scale figures that they're producing as well. And I think they're even blurring the line between figures and statues. So I'll even bring some of those. These are beautiful pieces that display very well, that any collector should be proud to own. The very first piece that I'm going to bring to you guys is from Gentle Giant. It is a Venom. And the reason I'm bringing Venom is because he's one of those figures that a lot of people want to own. Aside from Sideshow, of course, there's the XM Venom statue, and then there's a number of other pieces coming out from various studios, including customs. But again, those are extremely expensive. But with this figure from Gentle Giant, it is a really cool figure. It is highly collectible in my opinion, and extremely well designed, sculpted, and painted. So without further ado, let's get started with my very first figure from the very first episode of this new segment, Collecting on the Budget, Venom from Gentle Giants. So let's get started with the review of this guy. First thing that we'll do is start with the box. As you can see, there's a picture of Venom on the front of the box. It's just a picture of the actual statue. It's not a painting or anything like that. And then it goes around and there's another picture of him here. And then the same thing on this side, there's a picture of him there. And of course the logos and things from Gentle Giant. And on the back of here, it just talks a little bit about his bio, him being an anti-hero in his first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 299 to 300. It talks about it being an 8th scale figure, that type of thing. And this figure actually is a companion to the Spider-Man figure that I reviewed some time ago, maybe a couple of months ago, with the light up base, the light pulse, and that's a really cool piece that I enjoyed reviewing. And this guy is definitely a great companion to that. But what we'll do here is he's still in the box. I've had him unboxed before, but now he's packaged back up. So I'm gonna unbox him again and give you guys a chance to see how he's packaged. And doing the unboxing here is a little bit easier because I'm not a big fan of unboxing, but this box is so small, I can do this one. Isn't as nerve-wracking as the other ones are when you're trying to unbox something and it's so freaking big. Alrighty. Should have left that out. Also in the box is this certificate of authenticity, and it shows which edition size this is. This is 1178 of 1200, which is pretty cool. It's actually a pretty small edition considering it's such a small size, because a lot of these statues at this size end up being somewhere around 3,000 to 5,000 pieces. So being that this is only 1200 makes it pretty limited piece and highly collectible in my opinion. All right, so we're gonna take the styrofoam there, and he's in this plastic. We'll take that off and sit that aside. And he comes in one piece, and you're probably already noticing that there's something missing with this statue. And what's missing is the base. Or is it missing? Nope, it's not missing. It does not come with a base, and I think that is a very unique and interesting thing. We're so used to seeing bases with the statues because that's part of what we talk about, is the base. But guess what? They didn't put a base with this guy, and I don't think I mind whatsoever. I think he looks really good without a base. His hands, his feet serve as the platform. They're pretty flat there, and on the bottom of it, you can see where they actually put the numbered edition here of 1200, and then there's the Marvel logo, and then there's his name, Venom, and Gentle Giants painted on the bottom of his feet, which is pretty freaking cool. I like it. Now, As far as the sculpt of this guy is concerned in the design, it's a classic Venom pose, I think, of him enraged and pretty pissed off looking guy. That's pretty much his MO. And he has that portrait that wasn't the original look of Venom when he first came out. The McFarlane version of Venom didn't necessarily always have his tongue hanging out, but now he's become known, and that's kind of an iconic look for him. I'm still a fan of the McFarlane version of him too. This isn't bad, don't get me wrong, but I do like what McFarlane did when he was drawing this character back in the day. Back to the design of it. Sculpt looks really well. The muscles, all that stuff is sculpted. You can see it. There's a lot of different types of sculpting when it comes to, let's say, the veins on his arm. That looks really cool. You can see veins all through here, and kind of like it gives you the impression the symbiote is alive and kind of moving through over his body, which is pretty cool. He has these claws, and I think that wasn't always part of his the character either initially, but now he's come to have these very sharp claws as well. That's sculpted on there. It looks really well. His body actually has texture. That's a good touch as well. It's not some smooth, half done job. He actually looks good. It's a really nice, solid piece. And what I was very surprised when I first got this piece, and when I picked it up, I was like, wow, this is pretty heavy, because it doesn't look like he would be that heavy. And as far as the paint application is concerned on him, it looks really good. There is not anything that looks out of place or out of whack. The painting is done well. The lines are clean. Can't really mess it up. It's a really simple paint job on here, but it does look pretty tight. The same thing with his eyes, looks really tight. And I do like the detail around his mouth. It's got this wet saliva look. That's a really great touch for such a small piece. I mean, there's attention to detail is really cool. And the teeth, oh God, those look really good. Really classic, just enraged, rabid, in my opinion, Venom. And it looks really cool. So my point again for doing these sort of statues is that I know they're not what a lot of collectors collect, in the statue quote unquote game, but I love these pieces. And if you're one of those people that enjoyed the comics and you want something to represent your collection, but you don't want to go out and spend a ton of money, this guy can be got for around $130, which is definitely reasonable for a very limited edition statue of Venom that's sculpted really well, painted really well, and displays really well. I think this guy is definitely a thumbs up. And that basically will conclude my first segment of collecting on a budget. And let me know what you guys think about the new segment. And if you've got some suggestions that you like to put out there, I love to do it, because I don't mind every now and then picking up a piece that somebody suggests and doing a review of it or an unboxing of it. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. So until next time, peace.